2019 Kawhi Leonard was not human.
This time we've seen a season similar to Kawhi Leonard's in 2019. I'll answer that for you. Never. Kawhi spent 1 year as a Toronto Raptor and accomplished more than most players do in their entire careers. He delivered one of the all-time great playoff runs, had moments that will forever be etched in it.
Crazy thing is, he will never be back to this type of caliber player, gang. And I hate to say it, but he will never be back at that type of caliber player, gang. He just won't. And I don't know why. He really should have just stayed. I don't know why he left. He just didn't want to be there. But the fact that he did win his first year, his first season, he is tough for that. I ain't gonna lie. Motherfuckers forget that.
NBA history. Brought a title to a team that seemed destined to never win one and cemented his legacy as one of the game's all-time greats. He did all of that in 1 year. 2019 Kawhi was a singularity, a one-of-a-kind season that words can't even describe. You had to see it to believe it. I felt like I was living in an alternate timeline the first time I saw Kawhi in a Raptors jersey. It was crazy, almost as crazy as the series of events that got him here in the first place. It was Game 1 of the 2017 Western Conference Finals. Kawhi and the Spurs were torching Golden State's newly formed super team, up by 21 points in the third quarter. For the first time in these playoffs, the Warriors didn't seem invincible, but right as that...
I still believe if KD and everybody was healthy, they would have won, gang. They would have won. For if everybody was healthy, bro, I definitely believe that Golden State would have three-peated. But, you know, injuries happen.
Thought began to cross our mind. Disaster struck.
Leonard fires from the corner. Leonard goes down again. And he's in pain again in front of the Spurs bench.
Zaza Pachulia's foot slid right beneath Kawhi's as he landed from a jumper, spraining his left ankle. He'd leave the game and miss the rest of the series as the Warriors rallied to win Game 1 and sweep the Spurs on their way to a title. It was a devastating blow for the franchise, but this was just the beginning. As Kawhi rehabbed his ankle during the offseason, a mysterious quad injury came out of nowhere, sidelining him for most of the following season, and it was all downhill from there. Leonard chose to rehab with his own team instead of San Antonio's. Reports then surfaced that there was a rift between Kawhi and the franchise. The Spurs pleaded for him to return to the lineup, but to no avail. Tony Parker threw shots at him in the media, and that was the breaking point. During the offseason, Kawhi demanded a trade, preferably to the Lakers, but San Antonio didn't budge. Kawhi was sent across the continent, up north, to the Toronto Raptors, a team he had no desire to play for. But with 1 year left on his contract and no leverage, he was stuck there. So yeah, that's how Kawhi got into a Raptors jersey, a sight I thought I'd never see in my entire life. The Kawhi era in Toronto is about to begin. It took virtually no time for Kawhi to make an impact on his new team, with a 24-point double-double on opening night, followed by 31 and 10 against Boston just 2 nights later.
Did he just grab that bitch with one hand and passed it back to him?
Double-double on opening night, followed by 30.
Oh, what the fuck? He dunked the ball and gave that bitch a one hand.
On opening night, followed by 31 and 10 against Boston just 2 nights later. The dude was motivated. He was going to be a problem when he was playing. See, Kawhi would sit out the very next game to manage that quad injury, also known as load management, and this was the beginning of it all. The plan was for Leonard to sit out back-to-backs throughout the season to make sure he was healthy in time for the playoffs, and the Raptors were cool with it. Plus, the extra rest proved beneficial, because in just his 4th game with his new team, he showed Toronto what it's like to have a true superstar.
What a tremendous play. So dives to the hoop.
Leonard, how about? Locked down. Leonard now making a move. Fading. Shot good. He's got 33.
35 points, 10 of them in the 4th, clutch buckets late, and a no-look steal? I don't know what else to call it. I've never seen that before. Just a few games later, he'd go off for 25 and 11 against the Kings to put the Raptors' record at 12 and 1 to start the season. It was about as perfect a start as you can imagine. Kawhi was fitting into this team like a glove, and they were put to the test right away. On November 29th, we'd get a sneak peek at a potential finals matchup. Warriors versus Raptors in Kawhi's first game against Golden State since the injury. And the dude sent a message. He exploded for 37 in a 3-point overtime win against the two-time defending champs. And the Claw's monster revenge game really got him going. In his next game against the Cavs, he erupted for 34 and 9, then 36 points, 9 boards, and 5 steals in a win against the Sixers, capped off by 32 against Brooklyn, including a patented left-handed poster all over Jarrett Allen. The Claw was rolling, and as soon as the calendar flipped to 2019, something clicked inside of Kawhi. He was ready to go to work, and it started right away on January 1st.
Step up. Got it. Kawhi drives by and one.
Take those layups.
Kawhi, the reverse with the left. How sweet it is.
Speed and quickness, but you never rush. Yeah. So tough shot.
Leonard, quick move, driving on angles. Kawhi Leonard. Crowder has that's a career high 30. Wow. Leonard, oh, what a shot.
Kawhi put on a clinic against Utah, erupting for 45 points with 30 of them in the second half to mark the highest scoring performance of his career. But that excitement was short-lived. Just 2 nights after his career performance, Kawhi was making his return to San Antonio for the first time since his trade demand, and the response he got from the crowd was expected.
6'7" forward from San Diego State, number 2, Kawhi Leonard.
Trying to pick up the wonder. Trader.
They booed him, called him a traitor, and then chased him out of the building with an 18-point win. It was a nightmare. So what was Kawhi's response to this? Well, he went on an absolute heater. Over his next 7 games, the Claw torched the league, averaging 31 points, 7 boards, 4 dimes, and 3 steals on ridiculous efficiency. I'm telling you, dude, this guy was a robot. Kawhi would hit you with a nasty fadeaway to tie the game with 7 seconds left and not even crack a smile. He'll put you on skates, hit you with a disgusting fake, score, and then stare into the abyss. He'll come down the court at full speed, put some dude in a body bag, and evoke no emotion whatsoever. The Claw was a cold-blooded killer. I mean, even on a game winner, the most he'll get out of him is a fist pump. In a game where he dropped 30 points, 8 assists, and a game-winning bank shot, all we got was a goddamn fist bump. What is it gonna take for this fun guy to show some...
Hey, Kawhi don't show, no, but he be getting that. Hey, Kawhi, that's so funny, bro.
Maybe a more exciting game winner?
Woo!
Let's see.
Nah, his best game winner is against Joel Embiid. That's the best game winner he's had ever.
And Leonard gets the rest of 10. And Kawhi ends the drought. Wilson, here he goes right by the guy again. There it is. Whistle and one. Oh, Kawhi! Gets switched on to him. Kawhi for the win.
That's his spot. He love that spot.
Oh, that's the ball game. Raptors win it. Kawhi Leonard.
All it took was 38 points and a game winner that danced on the rim before dropping for Kawhi to show any sign of emotion.
Is that OG? Why OG?
All it took was 38 points and a game winner.
I ain't gonna lie, OG always been like that for real, for real. Wait, Jeremy Lin got a championship? Jeremy Lin got a championship? On what? He was a part of that team. Damn, Jeremy Lin got a championship. And OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby, he British now. Championship. Damn, OG got a ship. Damn. Now OG raw on the Knicks, he raw. Like, he damn near need to be an all-star. I ain't gonna lie. OG like that. And you wanna know something? My homie could vouch for this. Why is the light so dark? I didn't, bro. Why? Whatever. It don't even matter. They gonna come back on. OG, I ain't gonna lie. When I used to play with my homie, like on the game, I used to play against him. He used to always fuck me up with OG. I'm like, who is this nigga? Who is this? He used to be smacking that bitch. I'm like, who is this? But I ain't gonna lie. Right now, OG tough. On the Knicks, he's nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Danced on the rim before dropping for Kawhi to show any sign of emotion. An insane bounce that you rarely see on a baseline shot.
He
let
always
alone a game
bouncing
winner.
that. He always doing that shit. He loves doing that
Kawhi,
shit.
the Raptors secured their 46th win of the season, and they were on cruise control for the rest of the year, finishing the season with a 9-point win over Minnesota to secure the 2nd seed in the East. Toronto was primed for a deep playoff run, and I'd like to remind you that the regular season was just a warm-up for Kawhi. All that load management was for this moment. The Claw was about to take over. It's the lowly 7-seed Orlando Magic, and they made quick work of them.
He loves bouncing it. He loves bouncing it. LeBron. What do you mean by that? He loves bouncing it.
Stunning loss in Game 1, Toronto answered with 4 straight wins to move on to round 2 and face an absolutely loaded 76ers squad. And the Claw made his imprint on the series immediately.
Philly 31-20. Kawhi Leonard. 7-0 first by Philly. Leonard in for the run. Leonard looking to weave his way. He does. Beautiful spin. Leonard squares and hits in 6. Leonard turns. Ridiculous. Leonard head and shoulder fake hangs. Gets the bounce. 45 for Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi was unstoppable with his 3-level scoring on full display.
That's
pouring
travel. Is that not travel? Is that not travel?
Kawhi was unstoppable with his 3-level scoring on full display, pouring in 45 points and 11 rebounds on absurd efficiency. You want to make a statement in the first game of a series? This is how you do it, except it had nearly no effect on the Sixers. Philly pulled out a huge 5-point win in Game 2 to tie the series at 1, and back home they caught fire to beat the brakes off the Raps by 21 and go up 2-1. In the past, this is where the Raptors would falter, lose confidence, and allow their opponent to take control of the series. But this year, they have a weapon in their back pocket, and he showed out. The Claw was a beast in Game 4, torching Philly for 39, 14, and 5.
Damn.
The dude was unguardable. However, they're only up 1 with about a minute to go. But like I said, they have a weapon.
Beat switches. Fires a long one. Nothing but net. Kawhi not.
Kawhi drills a colossal 3 over Joel Embiid to push their lead to 4.
That's a big
and that
3.
would do it. The series is tied at 2, headed back to the north. Toronto and Philly would go on to split games 5 and 6 at home, forcing a do-or-die Game 7 in the 6. It all came down to one game.
Wait.
And this.
Hold on. They won 2 at home. I mean, they lost. They won 1, lost 1.
Toronto and Philly would go on to split games 5 and 6 at home, forcing a do-or-die.
They won 1 at Philly, then won 1 at Toronto.
Game 7 in the 6. It all came down to one game, and this is why the Raptors traded for Kawhi. They desperately needed a superstar to come up clutch in big games with everything on the line. And the Claw not only came up clutch, but he completely
So they won 1
took over.
in in Toronto, and then Philly won one at home. And then this game 7 was in Toronto. If they would have not had Kawhi, they would have lost for sure.
Inbounder here if you're Philly.
It's off to Leonard.
This is the best shot of his career. I ain't gonna lie. Because this was crazy. I think I seen this live. Chat. He do love bouncing it. You're right. He does love bouncing it. Nah, that shit was tough. I seen this live though. Like, I was watching the game on the TV. I seen him do this shit. That was nice. I'm not gonna lie. But he did travel. He did travel though. Look, 1, 2, 1, 2. Nah, I don't know. It looked like he traveled in real life though. I ain't gonna lie.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the day?
That's a nice shot. That's a beautiful shot.
I swear this was straight out of a movie. A shot that bounced on the rim for what felt like an eternity dropped through to win the series for Toronto, making it the only game-winning Game 7 buzzer beater in NBA history. When Kawhi is showing emotion, you know something crazy just happened. On top of the fact that he poured in 41 points with 15 of those in the fourth quarter. He was the definition.
Whoa. What is this picture? Why they choose this picture, bro?
Of clutch. Kawhi delivered, and they're off to the east.
That might be the thumbnail, for. That might be the thumbnail.
He was the definition of clutch. Kawhi delivered, and they're off to the Eastern Conference Finals to face the first-seeded Bucks and the MVP.
Wait, what happened? Why they lose? How they win the Bucks?
Milwaukee was a serious problem. Leonard scored 31 in each games 1 and 2, yet the Raptors found themselves down 0-2 in the series.
Damn.
Adjustments had to be made, and the Claw was all over it. After their loss in Game 2, Nick Nurse came into the locker room and said, "We're making adjustments," to which Kawhi spoke up and said, "The adjustment is, I'm guarding Giannis," and walked out. That moment, that short quote and display of confidence completely altered the trajectory of this series. Back at home in Game 3, Kawhi lived up to his promise, holding Giannis to just 12 points on 5 of 16
Weak
shooting.
ass. Giannis not like that, bro.
For
I never liked Giannis. I ain't gonna lie, folks. I never liked Giannis, gang. Ask my homie, folks. I never liked Giannis, bro. His ass can't shoot. All he do is drive and then dunk that bitch. Or either get fouled. Then he can't shoot free throws. So I never really liked him, especially in 2K. His ass be cheating. All he do is go to the paint and dunk. He can't shoot at all. Leave him open, he's going to miss. I promise you.
36, 9, and 5
Dunked his ass.
to get his team shooting, as he went crazy for 36, 9, and 5 to get his team back in the series. And in Game 4, Toronto pulled out an 18-point win to tie the series at 2, headed back to Milwaukee, where Kawhi put on a show. He killed the Bucks on their home court in Game 5 with 35, 7, and 9, including a 15-point fourth quarter to put his team just 1 win away from the finals. And by this point, there was no doubt that the best player in the world would get it done.
They won 3 straight? Giannis ass not like that, I'm telling you. No way he win 3 straight. There's no way he win 3 straight game. You up 2-0 against the Raptors, gang. You up 2-0 against the Raptors. It's no way you let them win 4 straight games, bro. Giannis, that's what you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what they said? He said, I'm guarding Giannis. As soon as he guarding Giannis, they won 4 straight games.
Leonard working hard to locate shots. Giannis about 2 of 3 from downtown. Leonard again. The back and lost it. Low with the steal. He has Giannis behind him gets Leonard. Ovation by Kawhi Leonard.
24 seasons in the making. The Toronto Raptors are headed to their first NBA Finals.
27, 17, and 7 in Game 6, including a facial
17
all
rebounds?
over Giannis as the exclamation mark to get the Raptors to the end. Facial, including a facial all over Giannis as
That facial all over Giannis. Come on, man, with these freaky ass terms. Maybe I'm just listening to it wrong, but a facial all over Giannis. Come on, man. Show ass. Come on, man.
the exclamation mark to get the Raptors to the NBA Finals, where he'll get an opportunity at revenge.
Leonard goes down again.
This was a
I ain't even peeped that. The fact that they the reason that they caused his injury and then he beat their ass the next year, I ain't even peeped that.
full circle moment for Kawhi.
he
Facing the
beat
Warriors
their
in
ass.
the postseason
It don't
for the
matter.
first
You know
time
what I
since
mean.
Zaza Pachulia slid under his foot and set into motion the series of events that landed him in Toronto.
Exactly.
And with Golden State on the cusp of a three-peat, Kawhi can get the ultimate revenge. In Game 1 though, he was relatively quiet with just 23 points, but Toronto rallied to win by 9 and take the lead in the series. However, in Game 2, the Claw was locked in. With a chance to go up 2-0, he dropped 34 points and 14 rebounds. But with a clutch dagger late from Iguodala, Golden State came away with the win to tie the series at 1,
Iguodala
headed
like
back
that.
to the Bay.
Iguodala
After
like
the Game
that.
2 loss, Nick Nurse spoke to the team, announcing that the goal was to split their next 2 games on the road. Kawhi did not agree. He got up and said, "F that, let's get them both." And well, the man lived up to his word.
Leonard gets away from Ben.
He just traveled, bro. This nigga be traveling. He just took 3 steps.
Throws it down with a foul.
1, 2, 3.
Leonard gets away from Ben. Throws it down with a foul. Leonard for 3. Knocks it down. Leonard, no hesitation. Line drive. It's another big road win for Toronto. The 4. Only 4 for Toronto.
Jasmine Queen, yo, what's the word? Deshaun, what's the word? Make sure I hit that like button for me.
His team down by 11. Hits again. Kawhi Leonard. Van Fleet. Leonard jumper. Got it. Here in this hostile arena. Leonard open 3. Knocks it down. Leonard pull up jumper. Puts it in. Kawhi Leonard dominating right now.
The Claw was a force in Game 3 with 37 and 7.
That's a travel. Fuck out of here.
The Claw was a force in Game 3
1,
with
2, 3.
37
I don't
and
know.
7.
I don't know. His hand wasn't completely on the ball for them, but still, nah, fuck out of here.
The Claw was a force in Game 3 with 37
I don't
and
know,
7,
it don't matter.
and then said fuck it in Game 4, dropping a bomb with 36 points, 12 boards,
Nah, he
2
was on
dimes, and
that.
4
I ain't
steals
gonna lie, he was on that.
to lead his squad to a commanding 3-1 series lead. Kawhi stayed true to his word, and they'll have a chance to win the championship at home. Game 5 was an absolute war the whole way through, as Toronto found themselves down 2 with just over 5 minutes left. The title was hanging in the balance, and the Claw smelled blood. Kawhi exploded for 10 points in just 2 minutes to put the Raptors up by 6. The crowd was going crazy. They were just moments away from being crowned champions, until they got smacked in the face. In the blink of an eye, the Splash Bros scored 9 straight points to put Golden State back on top, and they never looked back. Everyone was stunned, and were headed back to the Bay for a Game 6. Kawhi thankfully had another shot to capture the title and cap off this historical season, but just like Game 5, Game 6 came down to the final moments. With less than 10 seconds left, the Warriors have possession with a chance to take the lead and force a Game 7. But with a miss, Kawhi gets the job done. Curry comes off a pick, gets a good look from deep, but can't get it to go. Off the rebound, Draymond Green gets possession, calls for a timeout that they don't have, and Kawhi Leonard is sent to the line to put the finishing touches on one of the greatest playoff runs in league history.
Remind you, KD got injured and Clay got injured. If not for that, I wholeheartedly believe they would have won. They would have won. I don't care. They would have three-peated. I don't care. Argue with your mama. If Clay and KD hadn't got injured, they would have three-peated. And I'll always believe that. I don't care. You can't rewrite history. They won. Give Kawhi his props. You know what I'm saying? He that nigga for the time being. Kawhi was the best in the NBA. You think a trader and a guy who becomes washed after 2020 could have beat him? Who's washed after 2020? Who? Who became washed after 2020? Who are you talking about?
It was unexpected. It was a legacy-defining season that truly can't be compared to anything we've ever seen. Everything happened so quickly, and yet it was a moment that was years in the making.
What make it better is he did that. Oh, Clay. I'm saying at the time, bro. I'm talking about at the time, gang. In 2019, Clay or KD wouldn't have got injured. They would have won. What you mean? Clay in 2019, what you mean? Clay is he's a main reason that they won their championships. You forgetting that Clay and Curry won in 2022. You forgetting that. Don't forget that.
Leonard fires from the corner. Leonard goes down.
But he did that shit on the Warriors flow. Like, damn. I know they were shitty.
Again.
Kawhi Leonard out officially for the Spurs season opener on Wednesday. The Spurs are shutting down Kawhi Leonard indefinitely.
Kawhi Leonard wants out of San Antonio, is what I'm hearing.
Can't happen. The Raptors agree to attain Kawhi Leonard.
For the win.
This was supposed to be what Tyrese Halliburton did. Tyrese Halliburton was supposed to do some shit like that. But he got injured and shit. Injuries play a big role.
Here to cheer on. Leonard makes it official. Now the Warriors just inbound, and that's it. There's a new NBA champion, and it's a team from Toronto, Canada. We, the North, are now we, the champions. The Raptors, the 2019 NBA champs.
Your 2019 Bill Russell Finals MVP is Kawhi Leonard.
Nah, that's a W video. Hold on. I ain't gonna lie. That's a W video, bro. Shout out that nigga Kawhi. Shout out you, LeBron, for telling me to react to this video. That's what I'm saying, bro. Give me, like, you know, just drop videos you want me to react to in the Discord, bro. Drop videos you want me to react to in the Discord, bro. I don't got no problem with reacting to any videos y'all want me to, gang. Just you gotta drop it in the Discord, though, so I know. He said Clay after 2020. I'm not arguing that he's not washed at this point. I'm talking about in that season, during that time period. That's what I'm talking about. After that, I don't know. I'm talking about during that period of time. If he wouldn't have got injured, they would have won. After that, I don't have nothing. I don't have no argument towards that. I'm talking about during that time. That's what I'm speaking about.